not yours, but you still haven't said thank you. Act like you were raised right.
Raised right? Why don't we turn that mirror around on you?
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Black Book 91. We're talking to you guys today about the TV series Our Kind of People. Listen, I'm involved, I'm invested, and I want to review the show. I love what they're bringing to the table. What? Morris Chestnut, Lance Gross. Oh, that's my goons and my guys, bruv. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I ain't gonna lie to you, the ladies also did a great job as well. The actors Yaya DaCosta and Nadine Ellis, who play Leah Franklin DuPont and Angela Vaughn. Listen, they are wavy in this particular episode. And so shout out to the black cast. We love a good black show. Okay, all right, I'm invested and I'm involved. All right, we're gonna talk about this particular show from a perspective of psychology as well. We're going to bring some color psychology into there as well, just like we did for Insecure season 4, which I can't wait for season 5 to come out, by the way. But if you're new to the channel, please like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification of the uploads. We appreciate you. Stay locked and stay loaded. All right, cool. Before we go any further, we need to get an outro going, baby.
Little Black Book, you know what time it is.
Yes, listen, Our Kind of People. Great show. You just saw a great clip as well at the very beginning between the characters Angela Vaughn and Leah Franklin DuPont. I want to kind of break down the whole kind of situation. So we got Angela Vaughn, who is this lady here in the blue. She's Angela Vaughn, and that's her daughter behind her. And she's coming to this city, trying to make a buck for herself. She's a single mom who risks it all and moves her family to a vineyard with hopes of taking her natural hair care line to the next level by infiltrating the African American elite in Oak Bluffs. Okay, that's a little bio I just read there. Okay, and we get introduced into this character at the very beginning when they're in the car. Okay, and I want to make it very clear, I always try to point out situations to people psychologically why. Before we go to the car, I want to explain some things. Angela Vaughn, I don't want to spoil it for you, comes head to head with Leah Franklin DuPont. They're meeting at they're having a power off. You know what I mean? Like, both parties feel they deserve credit. Both women want to see change in the community they're coming into. Angela Vaughn is a newbie coming into an old establishment and society, and Leah Franklin DuPont is pretty much one of the heads of that society. And you get this kind of battle that happens throughout the course of this episode, which actually trickles down even to her daughters as well. So the daughter Laura Franklin DuPont, who is someone who is using manipulation to get what she wants. Basically, Laura is having some sexual relations with one of the friends, which is a female, doesn't want anyone to know. The daughter, Nikki, finds out, tries to speak to her about it, and actually Laura lies about it. This is the second time we've seen this episode that she lies about it. But we'll come on to all those things as it goes on. But what we are seeing is an all-and-out war in the first episode, which ends with this beautiful symmetry between the two ladies as well. I want to show you a little bit what I mean by that. This is lovely little scene where these two are talking here. Listen.
But you humiliated me, all because you were so desperate to serve this lifestyle. Maybe you the real mate up in here.
Lovely scene there where we get this lovely symmetry between the two ladies. I don't want to spoil it for you, so go and watch it as to what she releases in that very end, as why she's meeting her at that point. It's a plot twist. Okay, I think you kind of get it. Yeah, love the show so far. But let's go to the very beginning. Let's start at the very top. Let's go. Hold on a minute. Okay, I want to start at the car situation. Okay, I want to start the car situation so you get an understanding. Okay, now what I want you to pay attention to first and foremost, let's go back. Beautiful, there it is. Okay, let's see if we can play it.
The Black Elite have been coming here since the late 1800s. Oh, and we have to go to Nancy's restaurant because Sasha Obama had a summer job there. Okay, goals.
Now I want you to pay attention who's driving the car. That's Angela Vaughn. She's driving the car. And the reason why she's driving the car is because she's in control. Whenever you see someone driving the car, they often are the one who are in control of the story and the narrative. So we get Angela Vaughn, this opening scene. She's driving a car because she's the one that's taking them to the new place, Oak Bluffs, where they're going to try and set up their new life. Okay. Now, what's really important is the color of the car, and I'm telling you why it's important.
What? Working at a restaurant?
Being Sasha Obama.
Why you got us riding around hair blowing like white women's?
Now, what's important is a car is also a convertible. Okay, there's two things here: white car, white convertible. Okay, the white car signifies purity, innocence, and naivety almost, right? Because she's going into an area she does not know. She's going into a place that she does not know the rules, and she doesn't know what the society's norms are per se, right? But she knows that she wants to be in that society, and we see that in the course of the actual show, because we see her wearing wearing complicated colors. When I say complicated, meaning there's never one color she wears, right? For instance, at the party the first time round, she's wearing a flowery dress, right? And that's to show complication, meaning I'm not sure, I'm not aware of what's going on, right? I'll come into that in a second too as well. But the convertible is also important because people oftentimes who drive convertibles, okay, are go-getters. They are ambitious. They want to live life to the fullest, which really represents what we see her do in this episode. And it was encapsulated beautifully when the auntie said, or her mum's sister said to her, hey, you know, you got the wind blowing in our hair like, you know, like white women, rah, 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 right? Because when you drive a convertible, you want the wind in your hair. You are wanting to live life to its maximum and its fullest. That's what she's trying to do by coming to Oak Bluff. So that was a really important kind of scene. The next scene I want to kind of touch on is literally when they touch down in the London. Yeah, okay, here we go.
Let's put away the phone, sweetheart.
Welcome back.
I want you to notice straight away, this is Leah Franklin DuPont. This is the opposition, I guess, to Angela Vaughn. Leah is wearing yellow, okay? Notice how everybody else is wearing some form of pink. A light pink or a salmon pink, if you want to call it, right? And this is really important because it does two things. Number one, it makes her yellow stand out, which means you have to focus on her. But number two, it also sends a message to the audience that she is the lead in front and you're the one, you have to focus on Leah and Leah alone. Now, here's the thing. With Leah, she is a very assertive, dominant woman. And what yellow actually stands for here is confidence, creativity, critical and judgmental thinking, can be spiteful and can be self-critiquing. Okay, and we see these things from Leah during the course of the show. We see these character traits, right? But in this moment, what we're seeing is judgment come her way from the mum, right? From her husband's mum, right? And what's really what we're seeing, obviously, in that scene, what we didn't get to see, I'll go back and you can see it, is when she speaks to the children, says, "You are both Franklin and DuPont." And that's a really, and I hope I'm saying DuPont right. I'm just saying it with a little accent, but I hope I'm saying it right. Franklin and DuPont. And it's really important that she says that, because what she's saying is you have a dualistic identity. But it's really important because she actually has taken both names. She didn't take one name. She didn't put herself under her husband's name. Now, what does that mean? It means in this particular case, as the character Leah and her husband, obviously, which is Raymond should be the head, if you want to call it, right? But she didn't take his name alone. She took her dad's name, which is Teddy Franklin, who's also a big part of the plot. And that shows that she is actually somebody who has a level of independence. And when we see her in this clip, she's going to say to her husband in a second or two is that you didn't support me, right? Because she's the lead.
The luggage loaded into the car.
Thank you, Jack.
Well, you were supposed to be here over an hour ago. I started thinking I was...
Now, this is where his mom is talking and she's getting at her and everything, saying what she's saying. And then it's going to be literally after this particular part where she's going to say, you didn't support me, because she's the lead. Like I said, and that's all playing to the strong feminine character role where she is the one that is taking charge, making decisions. She's even overthrowing her dad later on in the episode as well. She is showing us that she is a lead character, not only by the color she wears, but also by the characteristics she displays as well. All right, you can see it in here, this conversation here.
My back.
Oh, of course.
Mm-hmm. You know, I birthed 2 beautiful grandchildren for her, and she still comes for me.
You know, Mama Lives always on 10.
And it's important too that you notice his color, salmon pink. Okay, what that really shows when you're dealing with someone who's got Simon Pink is that they tend to have, they tend to be quite chill, they tend to be kind of laid back, but it also means they tend to be quite passive lovers almost, right? They tend to subdue themselves, and I think that's really important because we're not seeing him as a lead. And in fact, later on, even in the episode, we still don't see him as a lead. She is the main domineering character, okay, within the relationship and within this TV show as well. All right, so that's the kind of next part we see. The next part I want to focus on, and also just to point out as well, it also means that the family follows her lead because the kids are also wearing pink. And you saw that little clip where I played with her in front of where the two ladies were in pink and blue, and both of their daughters were behind them. That what that was showing in that sense, normally you see men doing that with men and man and their sons, that they get into a fight or whatever. We're seeing a kind of flip reversal role here, but what you realize is the family follow her lead. So they're all wearing a bit of pink because she's a leader of the household. So everyone's following her dominant lead in this. All right. Again, let's go a bit forward now to when they finally arrive at the so you can see the white vehicle there. I want to just point something out to you guys. Well, notice the door is red. Okay, it's really important. The red door is really important. Why? Because red door signifies welcome. I was researching it, and apparently in some time back, what they would do is paint the red doors to say that it's a place of rest, it's a welcome, it's safe and refuge for people who are passers-by to come and stay here. They could knock on the door and come through, right? It's an old early American tradition. If a family had a red door, tired travelers traveling by horse and buggy would know that a home was welcoming place to rest. They would be able to spend night there. A red door provides protection. So they're coming from where? They're traveling from their other city to this city, and that red door is to signal welcome. This is now your home. This is now a place where you feel safe. This is now your protection. This is now your refuge. And, you know, this coming to that place as well, you know, we know that Angela wants to be able to make a new life. All right, let's watch a little bit of it coming in.
Oh my God.
So, you know, we know that she wants to make this new life here in Oakville. I say Oakville, but in Oak Bluffs. You know, she wants to make that new life for herself. And that's that lovely little scene there shot where they come and stand in front of the car and they're looking at this bright red door. They're looking at their future. They're looking at their new destination. They're looking at their new home. Okay, and I want to focus a little bit further on, where we're going to talk a bit about the mother-daughter relationship between Angela and Nikki, because it's really important actually to the show and really important what we see. Let's watch a little bit of this.
I want to create some generational wealth up in here for you, your kids, if you want them. And, I mean, I was even thinking you could join Jack and Jill.
No, Mom. I read about that club and
Now, she's obviously talking to her daughter, saying, obviously, listen, I can see visions and dreams. And really, actually, she's actually saying, I can see visions and dreams, and hoping she can kind of embed that in her daughter. She's trying to sell this idea to her. But what I love about this is watching the mother-daughter dynamic, because we don't get to see the fruition or the fullness of this relationship until maybe later on in the episode, where we can see that this daughter had problems in school. There was something not quite right for her. You know, she was getting into trouble, and we don't know why that is, but we don't have a father in the shot, right? So what we're seeing right now, we have single mum with daughter and auntie, okay, versus the DuPonts and Franklins, who have this perfect family unit. What's going to happen is, what always happens is, just because they have a family unit doesn't mean they're perfect kind of look, right? Yeah, and that's what they normally do, to do a contrast. But in that moment, what they're sharing in that moment is an opportunity where she's trying to get her daughter to see, this is a new life, this is a new leaf. Let's take a chance. You know what I mean? Let's see the vision. See the vision. Let's try to move forward with that vision. And later on, what we see is heads between her and her daughter that comes through because of the fact that they're miscommunicating, and Angela's not really deeping what Nikki's really going through. And I think Nikki's going to have to try and explain what's on her heart and what's on her mind and why she's feeling that way. So it gets at that, you know what I mean? I want to move on to another point as well here. This was the party itself. Really good point here. This was a really important scene.
Can I have like a club soda or something, please?
These parties are boring as hell if you're not lit.
Now we get to see the first introduction of Quincy. Quincy on the blue is the son of Franklin, of Raymond and Leah. Okay, he's the brother to the sister Laura. You'll see her in a minute or two. But what we see right now is this interesting shot between pink and blue. This is really important. And whenever we're doing things that are shot like this, there's always this contrast. And he's wearing blue with white, and she's wearing polka dot pink. She's wearing pink, but she's like the coloring. There's a little like the dress design is slightly not so solid. Whenever we see solid colors, what it means is the person is in that, they're solid in that thing. Whenever we see a color that's broken up by a particular design of dress or style, it often is saying that there's something else at work. Okay, so what we've seen is him talking to her, saying about, you know, my parties get lit. They don't know each other. You know, probably what's going to happen, they're probably going to end up liking each other maybe later on. But he, you know, it's setting this up quite nicely. What I want to point out is the fact that what the blue and the pink actually means. He's actually wearing turquoise, okay? And whenever you wear turquoise, okay, it's to signify, okay, compassion. Let me get my notes up and get this color, sorry, so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Whenever we have turquoise, it means harmony, compassion, self-sufficiency, okay? Harmony, compassion, self-sufficient. There's more terms for it, but it's what it's showing us, all right, about him, versus what she's wearing, which is slightly like a pink that she's wearing. Okay, that pink that she's wearing again speaks a different language as to where she is coming from. Let me get that up as well. So whenever you wear, yes, wearing pink, unconditional love, compassion, nurturing, hope, sweetness, and feminine energy represents really the sweet young girl. And what's really interesting is she does represent the sweet young girl in this particular scenes, right? Until the other pink girl comes in, and then we get the other side of pink, right? Which is his sister, Quincy's sister comes in, and we get a different side of pink. We get somebody who now is able not to be naive and weak, but actually now knows how to have confidence, assurance, maturity, okay? Which comes with a color, kind of fuchsia kind of color, right? And which is really interesting, which is probably why the dress is broken up and it's not completely pink. I mean, plain pink, right? All right, cool.
Let's do vodka for the lady. Come right up, Mr. DuPont.
So, is this like your party or?
No, this is my parents' party.
So, you know, I love this little scene here, because what happens later on is obviously the sister comes in and she tells her tears a new one basically. But what's really interesting about what we're seeing with this two is we're obviously being set up for the future in terms of there being a war between Quincy and probably Laura, and having Nikki in the middle of it. Maybe he's gonna fall for Nikki, ends up trying to defend Nikki in front of his sister. Like it's gonna create tension potentially, right? And it's setting this up quite nicely. Watch this particular scene here.
I'm Taylor. This is Lauren.
Hi, I'm Nikki. I'm kind of like new around here, but my mom's opening a store in Du Bois.
Now, what you're getting this opening scene here is you're seeing Laura in the pink in the middle. That's the sister of Quincy. And you just heard a person speak. That was also, what's her name? I forgot her name. Why is her name got out of my head? Wearing the gray. I forgot her name. It will come back to me. But the girl that was just talking, you know, she... Taylor. So the girl Taylor was talking in grey. Grey means neutral, which is why she came in there and was trying to invite Nikki, even though Laura was given attitude, right? Laura's just, she doesn't want to hear nothing about Nikki. She's got a little bit of an attitude. She feels that she's in these bees, so probably doesn't want that competition. Probably doesn't want someone too close because she's got her own secret she's dealing with. There's a lot of reasons why Laura could potentially have this stank attitude that she does, but Nikki puts her in her place quite firmly.
It's like a black hair care.
Guys, are we taking this photo or not?
I guess they don't teach manners in the sunken place.
Bars, you know. She came out real quick, real quick. You know, it's basically giving us rich girl, poor girl. This is what we're getting right now, rich girl, poor girl, and we're seeing it not only from the mums, but now we're seeing a competition in the daughters. Okay, even though Nikki wants to try and be cool with Laura, she's probably not gonna get an opportunity due to what they're seeing. Now she probably will save her ass later on in the show, but for now, it ain't the one. It ain't the one. All right, cool. Let's move a little bit further on. Let's go to 14 minutes. I want to just bring in this particular part of the scene.
Thank you.
Now, what's really important about this scene, first of all, is amazing and it's beautiful and it's sexy. We saw Lance Gross touching a leg. It was a beautiful scene. You know what I mean? You know, I've loved Lance Gross' work, yeah, since House of Pain. That guy gave me joke, man. I love his energy, and you know when you just gravitate to certain people. Listen, if I get an opportunity to interview him, I would actually take the chance, man. It'll be an honor. But we get this lovely scene. He's playing the character Tyreek Chapman. I think it's Tyreek Chapman Franklin. Is it Tyreek Chapman Freeman? Okay, Tyreek Chapman Freeman. Okay. So he's not a brother of anything like that. So what we see is he, you know, is a love interest seemingly going to be for Angela Vaughn, right? And what we're getting is these two separate colors. Now first of all, we're getting a level. Okay, this is important, right? A level. The shot is on purpose to show his height versus her height. It's on purpose, the shot, right? But more importantly, what's the more focus is the colors they're wearing. He's wearing all black. Now, black represents mystery, power. Okay, it represents a seductiveness, strength, the unknown. What else with black we got here? Elegance, control, discipline, intelligence. It can also mean some other things as well. Wealth, right? And we're seeing that with him in all black. And then we see her wearing a dress that's complicated. What I mean by complicated, I mean there's no one set color. We have different colors on there, and it's intentional because she's in a setting that she doesn't know the rules of, right? You might have not seen it, but she just had a conversation with Leah and her husband where she wanted to give a check, and she did it wrongly. That wasn't the society's rules. She should have given a check at the foot of the door, and she didn't. Right, and she messed up the rules. What it shows is she's out of place. That dress was on purpose, but when you're gonna see her later on, she's gonna come with a correct dress. So it's very intentional what we're seeing, where she's in a place where she doesn't fully understand all the rules. And you know, we saw that Leah again used an opportunity to kind of rub her nose and be a bit snobby towards Angela, setting up all the kind of madness that's going to happen towards the end of the show. All right, this is lovely. I love their next scene where they come to the party. Okay, I'm still trying to figure out whether it's red or orange, but doesn't really matter. Not so much. All right, this lovely scene here.
She was drunk.
Oh.
Help!
Sorry about that. Wrong clip. We'll get there. I don't want copyright to come in. So we're going to play the... My bad, wrong clip. It was a wrong clip. The clip where we're going to see now Angela and Tyreek talking. It's going to get a bit hot. It's going to get a bit flusty underneath. You know what I'm saying? Cover your children's eyes now. Okay, so it's a little bit of a kiss.
So you're a shoe-sending kind of brother?
Not really. I just thought you needed a better intro to the Bluffs, especially if you're trying to join the Great Cities. All I can say is, don't poke the bear.
Now, what we're seeing right now is one seductive scene, okay? She's looking at him like she won't eat him. And, you know, he's talking, with confidence, and it's really important because he's wearing a red suit. First of all, he's wearing a red suit. That in itself is impressive. But he's wearing a red suit and she's wearing a red-orange dress, okay? And this is on purpose. I think they purposely put her in a dress where you see it in different angles. It looks red, it looks orange, it looks red, it looks orange. You're not really fully sure. I think it is red. But the fact that they're wearing red is really, really, again, important to what you're actually seeing in front of you, okay? Now, whenever you see red, especially like this, for him especially, it's strong, it's masculine, it's passion, it's love, it's desire. And this is why both of them wearing red is so important, because we're seeing this passionate desire, sexuality, sensuality, sensitivity in this moment, right? Where they're about to kiss. And they're talking about her entrance. And it's a seductive scene. The lighting's a bit low. It's on purpose. Obviously, it's a party. And you know, we see this white, that collar that he's wearing is on purpose too, to break up the red. Why? Because the white is showing his innocence. It's to show this purity. And if you heard the conversation they were speaking about, what he was discussing with her was saying, listen, if he was actually giving her advice, if you want to join the Graces, you're gonna have to work on this intro. You're gonna have to work on your shoe game. That's what he said. He's willing to give her that advice, and it's coming from a pure, innocent place. But the red is to show the desire, the sensuality, the passion that they have for one another. So I did love this scene as well.
It can be tough.
I can handle my own.
Yeah, I got no doubt about that. I don't sunburn the bluffs. I grew up about 2 houses down from here.
As you can see, he's playing the cool, confident character, you know, strong, you know, nothing. He's not being too over the top. You know what I'm saying? Where and orange too, the color, because we're not sure if it's red or orange. I think it's important as well. Orange also represents risk taker, ambitious, but it can also mean pride, and we do see that in specs with our sister Angela. We see that in parts where she's prideful, right? Because she wants to have the accolades and wants to be, you know, known and stuff like that, right? And which is really important. So then we are seeing this again, another formulation of a relationship here, which is probably going to be really important in terms of what happens later on, right? We're probably going to see this love interest bringing conflict, and how maybe potentially the character Tyreek will have to maybe defend her against Leah and Frank and her husband. I don't know, I always forget his name, whatever his name is, but let's call him DuPont, Mr. DuPont, right? So we got a nice little setup going on, right? Nice little setup. Let's forward it a little bit more. Let's forward it a little bit more. I want to go to the scene where we were on. Okay, this scene here. Yeah, let's go. All right. So let's go here. Sorry, there we go.
Down today, out of the belief that I was doing good, but I don't think my.
I missed it. Sorry.
It's not true.
First of all, the wig is on fire. The hair, fire. This whole shebang just looks fire. Now, that was at the end of their scene. Basically, they had an argument, and the argument was around, obviously, their daughters, okay? So you're seeing how the interconnectivity of these the daughters, Tyreek, everything's going to seem to come together and play one whole role. But what we've seen as scene here is the first kind of really strong account where both parties are now coming for one another, right? At first it was Leah coming for Angela, but now we see Angela kind of letting her know, listen, hey, why you keep coming for me? Like, you ain't gonna keep doing that, and you ain't definitely gonna come for my daughter like that. And what we're seeing is this satin blue and the lilac purple, or mauve purple, and the blue stands for harmony, compassion, like the turquoise blue, but there's also boastfulness. And I want to show you something, because that's the reason why she's crying, because she got brought down a peg or two. Okay, all right. Watch this clip here. Yes.
Leah, you know what? I saved you tonight. This victory is mine, not yours. But you still haven't said thank you.
There's the arrogance. There's the boastfulness. Yes, she was right. She did save her, but there's the arrogance. There's the boastfulness coming through, right? That's why she went this color. So she's about to get cut down. Okay. Now, Leah is wearing, I guess, a magenta kind of mauve color. Okay, and when you're talking about that, you're talking about domineering, and the darker the color is also as well, it speaks for how controlling the color can be, the person will be, right? So you see this domineering trait, this intolerance when it comes to magenta, but with mauve, it's concerned with justice, okay, and doing the right thing. But negatively, it means social climber. Which, if you see this clip and you watch it all the way through, you'll notice that as the argument's going on, Leah looks at the woman who's controlling and trying to get her to really hate on Angela. She looks at her and then she attacks Angela, right? Because maybe she was not going to go that way, but when the woman gave her a look, she then went at Angela in a different way. And so that was unfortunate. And again, it was just showing how... you know, when people are around you, Just showing that people, when people are around you, they can influence your thinking and influence how you feel about people. Because she would have never gone down that route, but because of the woman, because she's a social climber, she's trying to establish her role in this society. I'm talking about Leah now, right? She's trying to establish her role and her power in the society. She did what the hands or the powers in the darkness told her to do by bringing down another woman. Okay, bringing down another woman. Now, I want to focus on this last clip. It's where the two ladies meet, because it's really important. Okay, let's focus on this last clip.
Just throw away.
Oh, I'm glad you stopped by. I wanted to talk about what happened earlier. I'm not in the business of tearing down black women.
Now, I'm not going to say what the plot twist is, because you have to watch it and you'll get it. But what I love about this scene here is everything has now come to a head, literally. We're now head to head. Okay? And what we're seeing is now these two ladies are going at it. But now Angela's got her confidence up. She said, you can come and see me with your dry roots at my shop, right? She's got her confidence up now, right? She came back for round 2. Okay, she came to collect her wig in person. She did it on purpose. She wanted to come and collect her wig in person because she wanted to have the face-to-face meeting. Okay, now with Leah wearing the white and the gold, she wants to try and establish the fact that she is a top dog. Okay, right? The white is obviously showing innocence and purity, but it's not. Right? She's not innocent and pure. But she's trying to show that she is, and when you normally as well, that shows hierarchy too. You know, oftentimes when you see a film or whatever, and you see that people are showing that they are better than others socially, they normally wear white to show that they are the innocent and the pure ones and the ones that are the best. And so that's why she's wearing that white, not because she's innocent, but because she's showing that she's a social ranking higher than our sister Angela. Okay, so what I loved about this whole show was how we're seeing themes of the mother-daughter situation. For instance, when I kind of missed a part here, is after the shenanigans where after the party where there was a lie, we saw the mother-daughter scene. So I'm just going to play it for you guys so we can have a little conversation about it. Here we go.
Act like a mom now? You've always been so thirsty.
All right, now slow your roll, baby girl.
You're obsessed with getting in with these people just like you were obsessed with putting me in some private school with people.
So we're having a mother-daughter tiff right now between Angela and Nikki, and the reason why is because we're seeing that they're not connecting. Angela's not really seeing Nikki for who she is and what she's about. And what she said is that last time you tried to put me in the schools, you're trying to upgrade me and make me of a certain status when I'm not asking for that. I'm just asking to be basically seen and heard. And you haven't done that. Because Angela is focused on breaking through and becoming more than what she is. She has a drive to be something else. And it's beginning to infect as a seed on her daughter Nikki. But I told you that when we saw that in the earlier scene where they were on the bed jumping and they were talking and she was saying, I can see this, I can see this, I can see this. Yeah, you can see it, but you were putting that onto Nikki, your daughter. I think we're going to see more of a strain from Angela and Nikki, but we're also going to see some redemption with Angela and Nikki as well because of what Angela will probably end up doing in the future. But I really love this particular show, and hopefully my reviews won't be too long as well like this, because it's 33 minutes. That's long. I ain't gonna lie to you. But I've enjoyed the show, and I wanna see more. I can't wait for episode 2. So hopefully you guys like the review. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on that bell button for notification of the uploads. We appreciate you so lots, and say loaded.
You know what time it is.